Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Date with Danu. Well, today is a Saturday. Hopefully, you're relaxed and enjoying your time at home. Things are not going to be the same from Monday. We're going to be trying out, stepping out, but keep in mind our safety regulations. That's the most important thing. Keeping that in mind, would like to say a big thank you to our sponsors who make this show possible. Our friends from Movenpick Hotel. Manning Checks, not forgetting Quantum, British Cosmetics, and Vikramarachi Opticians, and my favorite, Jonathan Studios. Hi to everyone, and right now I would like to say a big hi to our guest. He's someone who rose to fame with the reality sensation of Sri Lanka. We all know him. He became everyone's sweetheart during the time of a superstar, and I'm happy to have Malith. Hi, Malith.
Hi, Danu. I'm pretty much privileged and glad to be here. How's it going?
Doing very good, and thank you so much for joining me. Let's start off with this.
Oh
You
shit.
disappeared after your time here with music, and all of a sudden
Yeah,
you were not there.
I wasn't. Yes. So what happened was, it was, teenage years. I was still a teenager when I was, taking part in that competition, and then, was sort of in the process of completing my A levels. So as soon as I sort of, so because I was 17 when I was in the competition,
Oh,
so
you were so
so then,
young.
yeah, yeah. So, and then I completed A levels. So, and then I was in the country for about a year and a half as soon as I finished. And then once that was done, I had a couple of opportunities to pursue my higher education either in Sri Lanka or just go overseas. So, finally, the decision was made to come down to Australia. And yeah, so at the time, it was a challenging one because I didn't used to speak English. So like I no English at all. So it was really challenging. So I could barely get through IELTS at the time. So but now here we are having this discussion. But I just wanted to remind you that how that that sort of
But
started. But yeah,
that's
yeah.
amazing. That's how life is. For me, it
Yeah.
was the same. Like English is not my first language.
Yeah,
Tamil
yeah,
is my
that's
first
right, isn't
language.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so when I came from Jaffna, it was the same. Like my mom and all knew very well how to speak. It's just that I was brought up in Jaffna, so most of my
Yeah.
language skills were in Tamil. So
That
I
was still
always
in
say
Tamil.
English is just a language. Even
That
if
is
you
it.
speak it or not, is just
It
irrelevant.
doesn't matter.
It's
It
what
doesn't
people,
matter.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's what people achieve and what they are
Yeah.
is what's important. Sri Lanka has this
Absolutely.
ten, yeah, Sri Lanka has this tendency, English bene.
මට සිංහලත් පුළුවන් ඉංග්‍රීසි පුළුවන් ටැමිල් ඉතින් චුට්ටක් චුට්ටක් I can.
You had a song which was extremely popular,
Yeah.
where you acted as student, and this is the first time we saw a future politician, teledrama superstar Paba come out of.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that was good old days. Good old days. I think yeah, that was her first music video. I remember speaking to Prasanna and Iraj at the time. They
Mm,
proposed this to me, and then they were like, hey, bro, you got this girl, and we got the song. Obviously, now that we've recorded the song, and then they're like, hey,
yeah,
we got this girl. She has won something like this, and then what would you mind taking a look and see if that's all okay? I'm like, oh yeah, well, she's beautiful, obviously. I had no
yeah,
reason to be of opposition to
yeah.
anything, so I didn't have to reject or whatnot. So I was like, oh, straight away, yeah, it's a pretty easy yes. I'm like, yeah, let's go with it, and then it turned out to be one of the greatest hits.
Of
We
course.
still to date, I get tagged on this famous phrase
Any
called
chanchalas? Yeah.
Malittagahadhyay Chanchalanan. So I get tagged on numerous times a day. Like
Mm.
it's just yeah, remarkable what a
I
video and something can do.
I had it on my playlist because I love
Yeah,
that song
wow,
so much. It's
wow,
such a great
wow.
song. I simply love it.
I
I am
feel
a big
humbled.
fan of Sri Lankan music. I love Sri
I
Lankan
feel
music.
humbled, man. I
Yeah,
feel humbled,
I
man.
really love your song, and that's one of the reasons why I started following you, and I was so happy to like
Yeah,
see you.
yeah, no,
So let's go back in time.
yeah.
Everyone fell in love with you.
Mm.
Was it before or after the accident?
Good question. Maybe, perhaps there was that empathy
Yes,
after the accident. They're like, oh my God, this guy has gone through this. Look at him, this skinny dude. He barely has any muscles on his body. Let's just help him out, right? Let's just
I.
help him out to get through his
But
life.
you
And then
were
you're like, I'm
quite
like,
badly hit, right?
I
Weren't you
was, yeah.
badly hit?
So I can show you. So
Yeah.
the cut runs from here to here. So
Okay.
I had to undergo a brain surgery, and there were 32 stitches. And still today, people ask me whether that was real. I mean, all I can do is just, hey guys, you can see the marks there. I'm pretty sure that's real. So that's not a drama or a makeup. So
Yeah. So this
makeup
was
story.
during the time of recordings.
Yes, yes. So we were in the final. There was final. I think final five. Yeah, like
Yeah.
only five of the contestants were remaining. So like so to speak. Yeah,
Right.
that was remarkable. The entire process and what
Yeah.
exactly I had to go through, and my family had to go through, and my
So you
fans,
stepped
all
out
my
because of that,
followers.
right? Did
What's
you
that?
step out because of that? Did you step out because of
Yes,
the
because
accident?
I did. This is the most interesting part, though. They had to
Okay.
pause. They had to pause the contest for like 2 3 weeks, I think, by
Uh,
memory. So it was like there's a pause, and then they're playing. They like hours in the headlines in the news, like they were
yeah.
updating every 2 hours. This is the current condition of Malith. I'm like, it's like free marketing campaign all over, like for me. I'm like, holy shit, what's going on? Like everyone's calling me, and I'm like probably 3 months ago I was nobody, and then 3 months
Yeah.
after I'm like, holy shit, what's going on here? Like everyone's speaking about me, everyone's speaking to me, and then people coming to see me in the hospital. It was yeah,
Yeah. But
it
you
was
know,
a
you
one.
actually, I think you caught the best bus in reality TV.
Yeah.
Y'all, y'all
Probably.
behaved, yes, because those are the last few good years for reality TV
Yeah,
in our
yeah,
country, where
probably.
the whole country watched. It was
Correct.
beyond language. It was
Boundary,
beyond,
anything,
yeah, it was,
anything.
I still remember Adareta, that was the finale song.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
correct.
was the
Yeah,
final winning song of the first Superstar.
that's right.
I
Absolutely right.
watched, like my mom, I watched it with my mom. Like I still remember, and I was like, "Wow, oh my god!" Like goosebumps in the whole works because everyone watched it. Like everyone,
It
it was
was,
something.
yeah.
There was no American Idol at that time in Sri Lanka. There was
No, no,
no voice. There was nothing.
no,
It was
no,
this. So
sir.
we saw our own stars grow. But y'all caught the best bus. Right now there are
Yeah,
like 7,000 reality shows. Nobody knows who
yeah.
is
So
winning.
I've heard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
How many? Like, there's plenty. Like, I mean,
just
we
like
don't have to name
no,
anything, but
just
yeah,
like
there's
Miss
plenty,
Sri
isn't it? Yeah.
Lanka's. There's a Miss Sri Lanka in every road now.
Holy shit,
So
Miss Sri Lanka Galaxy, Miss Sri Lanka, I
yeah,
don't know, Miss Sri Lanka
the
this
whole
and that.
world. Yeah,
Yeah.
there were recently I was at a competition preliminary judging, and this one girl said, "I'm Miss Sri Lanka too," and I said, "What did you win?" She said, "I won Miss Sri Lanka for Miss Sri Lanka." I said, "For what?" So they have had a competition for Miss Sri Lanka, Miss Sri Lanka. That's it.
Oh wow. So they don't go anywhere after that. That's it. There's a point.
No,
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
no, it's
No
like
future.
you
Yeah.
are just
All right.
Miss Sri Lanka here. That's it. So I was like, wow, that's amazing. She has won a
Yeah,
toaster
I've
or
heard.
something as a kid.
Danu, I mean, even though I live far off from, my,
Yeah,
Sri Lanka, but, we get the news and we see the news feeds. I mean, you share some of the interesting stuff. You like some of the interesting stuff. So we see all that, okay? Just remember.
so, Malith, you are doing very well in Australia in terms of because Sri Lanka is in Australia. Part of little Sri Lanka moved to Australia.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you
you're
keep
right.
yourself busy with the Australian community who are Sri Lankans.
Yeah.
Tell me about your life there. What are you doing currently?
So okay, I came here and studied accounting and finance, just like every other brown dude. And well, I wasn't necessarily sure that was going to be the career path that I was going to choose. But then again, suddenly finished it off. I came here with the intention of going back because it's sort of like I have to start out by saying this anyway. So I know you asked a different question, but I'm just going
Yeah.
to get to it. All right. It was sort of right, I came with the intention of doing something and getting out of my comfort zone in Sri Lanka. You know, I grew up in a country, pretty much countryside in Sri Lanka, you know, just come out here, study and go back. But then again, you know, when you come here, things change and then you want to stay, you know, you want to act cool,
Yeah.
you want to dress cool, you
Yeah.
know, all these brands and Gucci or you name it.
Yeah.
And then obviously I finished and graduated in accounting and finance, and then I chose a career path in that, and then I became a CA. CA stands for Chartered Accountancy. You might know, you might not know. So I'm a chartered accountant. So now at the moment I'm running a public practice accounting firm with two other Australian partners. So we've got about 12 employees at the moment, and that's what I do here. That's my bread and butter. And then other than that, I actually take part in you know, Sri Lankan events, whether it be anything to do with musical stuff. And then I was classically trained. I took sort of voice training on a serious level here as well. I studied Western classical for about
Oh,
5 years. Yeah, 5 years as well, because I studied Eastern classical in Sri Lanka, which is pretty much like North Indian music. So
yeah.
I came here and then I studied that. So my day would on a week during the week, my day would look like something like I work and then I work out. Obviously, you know, I'm a bit of a fitness freak myself,
Mm.
so I do that, and then at night I wrap it up with some bit of music, whatever it's, whether it be voice training or just composing something or something like that. Yeah.
Excellent. You know, your transformation was remarkable. Like literally, you just went from this to like wow in just matter of
Oh,
Instagram posts. You were like,
I feel humbled, man. Thank you.
I was like, what's happening to this boy? What's happening? And the next thing I know, there are pictures coming out with barely any clothes on. I'm like,
Oh,
whoa,
well, well, well,
whoa.
well, well,
and
yeah,
then
well,
and
what do
then
you
there
do?
was a music video shot in Sri Lanka
Yes,
where it
yes,
was quite trending over the fact that you refused to wear your upper garments. So
I
it was,
did, yeah. But look, I must admit though, at the time I did look a bit flat. All right, I look much probably being honest because I started lifting. It's just that you know that young, you know, being wanted to show your
yeah,
pectoral muscles and all that, you know,
yeah,
my biceps and all that.
yeah.
But I truly believe I look much better now because I worked on myself a
No,
lot bit more.
100%. I think
Yeah.
anyone who gives a commitment to themselves to,
Yeah,
rip like that, I give
that's
all
it.
credit because I
Yeah,
have tried it in my 30 odd years on earth, and it seems a very hard process with what I
yeah,
go through. There's
yeah.
always food around me. I think I was born to eat, I was born to eat. So it was, I
Hey,
have
hey,
found my
that
inner
works out
passion.
for you. That
Yeah,
works
I
out
know
for
it.
you because you know
It's my inner
you look
passion.
great. You look great.
Thank you.
It's
I
just
have
that you
this
know if you
policy.
want.
Yeah, I have this policy. Durate apple, langate apple. And it has worked well. It's amazing. I don't want to be removing my clothes anywhere, so it's fine. So, your transformation was remarkable. Tell me about it. Like, how long did it take? And you're so disciplined. And
Yeah, so I must give a shout out to Perera, who's my obviously nutrition and PT, and you know he guides me through. So here's a shout out to you, Guyan. So Guyan and we started training. I've been training with Guyan for about 3 years now. So what we do is we go on this calorie deficit kind of diet when I'm on a what we call a cutting phase, which is how you go on a bit of a bulking phase where you eat calories at a surplus, and then you
mm,
go on a cutting phase, which is you eat calories at a deficit. So it took me because when I came back from Sri Lanka, I was a bit I was put on a bit because my mom was feeding me, man, left, right, left, right,
can you
middle.
say
So
no to
I
that?
could, yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't, you know.
yeah.
All I was
Magi sudu
I
puta
enjoyed
kanya
myself.
pe. Yeah,
I enjoyed myself, kiribat
yeah,
or the paratha. all the tea. Like I was
Yeah.
drinking tea like freaking 10 times a day. So, so, and then I came back and then, started 1st of July 2019. I started the new diet, obviously cutting phase. And then it took me about 6 months. We trained, when we start that phase, we're very disciplined, very, very much spot on with whatever I'm eating and the training. You're very much, very, very, very much compliant. So
Mm.
it took me about 6 months, and then I lost about 25 kilos, and then gotten to where I am now at the moment. I think so. It's one thing about it that I must admit that my body definitely likes it. Likes me on the lightweight side.
Mm.
Also, I feel like I'm much more switched on. It's not that I wasn't switched on at the time when I was a bit chubbier,
Mm.
but definitely I feel like my body likes it a bit more at the time at this moment. So
Current level.
that
Yeah.
that's yeah, that's the transformation. I mean, anyone can do it. Even anyone
Uh,
can do it.
I'll let you know when I
It's
start.
you don't need to.
I'm gonna.
You're doing fine. You're doing
Thanks.
fine, mate.
Do you keep in touch with any of your other superstar friends?
Yes. So one of another friend who's Mohan. Mohan lives here. I We don't necessarily speak every day, but
No.
we just share messages here and there, and I'm in touch with Shihan here and there, and Amila, and Deekshana.
Mm.
Deekshana. In fact, he must be watching this at the moment. So, and I'm very much in touch with all those friends of mine. Obviously, they are more like brothers now.
Yeah.
It's not every day. It's not every week. But we might not speak every day. But whenever we obviously get together on something, we are just connected instantly, just like we
Yeah.
were never separated. Yeah.
Did you ever feel that you are missing out when you are living in Australia? Because Sri
I
Lanka is your, yeah, like here you will be like, you'll be felicitated every day for something or the other. Do you feel that you're
Absolutely.
missing out on it?
Oh, yes, definitely. I must admit, coming down to Australia, it was like a huge shock. It was like a culture shock for me, let alone missing out on all the attention I've had at the time during my peak. So, because I migrated when my musical career was at a peak. So, I do miss singing. I do miss singing in Sri Lanka.
Mm.
But not just I can't necessarily say I miss music because
You're still a part of it.
I'm very much my entire life is pretty much
Mm.
revolves around music, so I'm very much involved with music around here. But I definitely miss hanging out with my old buddies, who are co-workers and who we used to work with,
Mm.
and obviously producing music, doing commercials, all that. I do
Yeah.
miss, I must admit,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's definitely true. You know, like I've always had this doubt. Somehow in Sri Lanka, more than the ones who win the title, the ones who sort of fade off in between are the ones who become really popular.
Mm, mm,
Like for example, you were a sensation. Shian Miranga was, I don't know, my God, people were
yeah,
losing their
yeah,
marriages for him.
yeah.
So,
At the time, yes, and
yeah,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
yeah, he was intense.
Yeah, yeah.
Tell me, how did your mom take all of this? Your mom would have just
She
sent you off, your parents would have just sent you off for this audition in Depanama just to go and see what you can do. And then, boom, you have an accident. Next thing you know, you are like a star.
Dude, let me start off saying my mom didn't handle it at all. Like, I mean, she didn't know how to handle it at all. Like, my parents, I must admit this on publicly on social media, they're the biggest cockbox ever. All right. All right. um, um, yeah. So my mom did not like it. I mean, obviously with fame comes everything else. Obviously, just
Yes, of
like
course.
anything else. So I remember at the time I was dating this girl, and my mom was, she really had problems with coming to terms with, me dating
A
someone,
girlfriend
because
at that age.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? I'm inhuman. So yeah, yeah. My parents couldn't handle it, man. But now they're I mean they're pretty good with they're understanding. Obviously that comes after a certain number of years of me having me not having me around, obviously, and they're probably now used to it. Um,
Yeah.
so they come to terms with it now. So that's a good that's something good. Let's
That's
put it
good
that
to let
way.
it
All
be.
right.
Okay. So you had this stay in Sri Lanka for a little bit where you put on some pounds, but also you did some work here. How
I
was the
did.
how was it when you came back? Did people remember you? Did people embrace you the same way?
I'm very much humbled by the response that I received. I must admit, I barely got to see my family. I was that busy. I think I've done like 15 to 20 paper articles, and
Mm.
I've appeared in television probably 10 programs. Radio also, I've probably done 10 programs within a month period of time, and I had to cancel. I do apologize for the people that I had to cancel for. It was really busy, but I really I was astonished by the response. By the way, I'm just speaking very humbly here. I was
No,
actually
100%.
astonished by the response that I received because I couldn't believe it. It was almost like back in
You never
2006.
left.
How yeah, it's
Yeah.
like uh, how the response that I received was pretty much similar to the response that I received when I was at my peak.
Yeah.
So it was hard to believe what was happening, but at the same time, I loved it. I must say, everyone loves a bit of attention.
Of
So
course.
did I,
Yeah.
and I did love it. I must admit, and still to date, now sort of I renewed my contacts with everyone.
Mm.
Just like even though we never met. I mean, I probably came across on your Instagram, after
Yeah.
all those paper articles that I've
Of
made or
course.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
So
amazing. It's they always say distance makes the heart go fonder. It's just that you not being here and people never getting to see you frequently makes it so much
yeah,
more nicer to like have you around. And
yeah.
and also now you have seen the world from a very different point of view because I can so relate to you going from such a sheltered background to, at home, our mums and dads for us in our country, our mums and
Yeah,
dad, even if you're like 40, will always
yeah.
be like, Mummy. We'll always turn around and do that. So
Right.
even at that age, we are so sheltered, and that's what Sri Lanka, that's what this Asian culture is all about. But being thrown into
Absolutely.
Australia at that age to figure your
Yeah,
own route, find your own food, survive your own
yeah.
way, must have really taught you, like, survival in just
I
just
think
normal life.
I do believe, it's definitely tough. It's definitely tough. It was really, really hard work, obviously. But I do believe everyone can do it, even anyone. Like, it's just that the opportunities that you're presented with, if you had to do it that way, I think you figure out. It's something like, if that's the only way, it's almost like you don't have another choice, right? So,
Mm.
and then the positivity about it is that it strengthens you, the strength that it provides to you. It's just remarkable. I think you become a much better version of yourself, especially coming from, just like you said, a background like Sri Lankan background where
Mm.
parents are just done everything to cock block you and all that,
Yeah.
and then and then you suddenly come here, it's just all independent, and but it's
Wah!
not it's not
Yeah.
like it's not hunky dory. It's not hunky
Yeah,
dory as soon as you
definitely.
come here, but there are advantages and disadvantages. But you're gonna have to get thrown out in the real world at some point anyway. So you would rather learn it in much earlier in your life than later, I suppose, which must be the case with you as well. I think coming from a town like Jaffna, it would have been tough for you to
Of
look at you.
course.
You're doing very well at the moment. So pretty
Thank you.
pretty happy and inspirational at the same time.
Um, Thank you. Humbled by that, well, for adding me into this. But, I wanted to ask you, this quarantine has taught a lot of us lots of things.
Mm,
The fact that, a simple stepping out with your friends is now just a luxury. It's literally
yeah,
has come to a point to appreciate the most, like, it's such a thing that is not even tangible. You can't even hold it, but it has
yeah.
ruined our lives. What has this quarantine period taught you?
I think it has. Um, Wow, good question. It's just that how I have taken some of the things for granted, like going to the gym, or just going out, catching up, hanging out with friends.
Yeah,
Sometimes we are at home, we are just busy. We're like, hey mate, we just don't have, I just don't have time
yeah,
to catch up with you.
true.
And now it's like, oh shit, I should have done it, because some of the
Mm.
friends I might not get to see again because they might have to go back to somewhere else.
Yeah,
Their careers might have changed, all that. But if there's something that one another thing that it changed and taught all of us, I think it has sort of brought all us together. I feel like that's the case. I feel like our relationships are now much stronger. It's not
mm.
that shallow anymore, like where you just used to just text and go out and canceling your planned
Yeah,
dates with your mates or something, things like that. There is that as well, but just like you said before, though, um, we might have taken things for granted, and we probably will not take those things for granted anymore. We will cherish our relationships much more moving forward. That's what I feel like. Um,
that's true.
can I ask you as well?
Yeah,
I'm gonna ask you a question now.
yeah.
What has it taught you? Um,
I'm never at home. Like, my
yeah,
day starts at, I wake up at 4:45 for my radio show, and I'm out of the house by 5:15, 5:30. And I
yeah,
come
wow.
home practically 11. Like, I have packed my car with my whole day. Like, I will have
Wow,
like
that's good.
6 costume changes, like my shoots or whatever. So it's just packed.
That's
The
good.
whole day is packed. I come back, I sleep, I wake up, I do the same thing.
Yeah,
And I hated this idea of staying at home. I've always been someone who's always out. And this time around, I'm forced to be at home.
yeah.
And, and this is the honest truth. So my sister does like this. She used to work in a bank, but now she does this home business where she cooks from home. And I always tell
Hmm.
her, I'm like, you're at home, no, you always have time, no. But then I understood the amount of work she does for a day, because I understood cooking is not easy job, especially when you cook for
Absolutely
like
not.
40, 50 people. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I try to stir with one of my hands, and I'm like, oh, this is so much harder than the gym. I'm like, what in the world is here? So I find new respect, like the fact that I've
Yeah,
spent so much of time at home. Like, I've looked at things which I've never looked at before.
yeah,
I've enjoyed some screen time, watching TV, and like doing things that I should be doing. So
yeah,
it's fun. It has taught me that even the most expensive car cannot step out because of corona.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
we cannot measure life through what what contents us, what we actually own. It's
Yeah,
beyond
yeah,
that. So I've
yeah,
learned
and
that as well.
also the some of the opportunities, so the presented itself, like things
Mm.
like the luxury of being able to working from home, all
Yeah.
that, and then the share market, it's just collapsed, and the car market, the car sales are struggling, and they've dropped prices like in 20
I
by
know.
25%,
Yeah.
25% decrease. That is humongous.
True.
And other opportunities that things like Zoom software, growing its subscribers by 300 million or something within
Of
3
course.
months, which is
Yeah.
which is remarkable once again. And then there was absolutely nothing. It worth nothing, and then it's now worth like $50 billion something. So things like that as well
Amazing.
happened. I think a lot of things will change moving forward. The way we deal with things, the way we handle things will change forever. I don't know. I couldn't say forever, but at least for the
No,
foreseeable
it will.
future.
I
Yeah.
think we are stepping into a new world after this.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
wearing a mask is going to be norm.
Yeah.
for some time at
Yeah,
least.
true.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So,
Uh,
do you get asked to sing Chanchala wherever you go?
Unfortunately, yes, and I'm kind of sick of it.
I know, because
I'm
even
kind
here, I've got so many people writing, ask him to sing Chanchala, ask him, here,
yeah,
Malith, can you please sing
I,
Chanchala? I'm like, what else should I? Because I feel really bad. Like even like Umara, like they always tell me wherever they go, they're like, can you sing a song? They're like, yeah. They love the fact that they are appreciated so much, but sometimes every artist needs their time. You can't
that's
just
right.
because it's like you asking a doctor to perform the surgery like on your dining room. It's impossible.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
but how would you do this? Would you be able to sing few lines of Chanchala?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Oh,
As a part of this, I'm more than happy to. I've got good timing. I've got my guitar set up here
yeah,
as well,
super.
so it might work out just fine. Um,
Here, before you get to this guitar, but how did you cut your hair during this quarantine time?
or the salons are operating. Actually, they're operational, so they're not. They're sort of. I think they're sort of. I think they're
This is
regarded
my
as
stage.
essential. In Australia, in
That falls under
Australia,
essential service.
uh, well, I mean, you got the cap going,
I've
but
gone. I'm going the cap way all along.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I used to wear it, by default until I had my haircut, and now I did. I have this my mate, who's a Kiwi. Kiwi means a New Zealander. It's a very good,
Yeah,
very good, very good mate of mine. Cuts hair beautifully. So they're operating. So I just went there and
you're
cut
superb.
my hair. That's it.
If we
So
can do that
I'll
online, I'll be happy to do it. All right, let's hear it.
I'll just sing a couple of lines
Yeah,
and
please.
can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
And the guitar? Can you hear the guitar?
very well.
මතක මන්දිර තනා ජීවයේ රස කතා පන්තියේ පෙම නිසා තාම මං තනි වෙලා සිතුල් සිපකී කතා ආදරෙන් මා බදා වෙනස් වී නැහැ ඔයා මමයි ඔබේ චංචලා ඔයා තාම මාගේ සීනේ උතුම් කුමාරියයි සිහිනෙන් හැඩුවතානේ දන්නේ මගේ හිත තමයි ඔයා තාම මාගේ සීනේ උතුම් කුමාරියයි සිහිනෙන් හැඩුවතානේ දන්නේ මගේ හිත තමයි
Woohoo! Oh, I love that
Thank you,
song.
thank you,
I
thank
love
you,
that
thank
song.
you.
It's so nice.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks, thank you.
Actually, it's a song that like it's part of our lives. Like how all the kids have their own time period. We had this
Yeah,
in our lives. When these songs. There was that other song that I used to really like. Uh, Infasa's songs. I used to really love it.
yeah. Infaz
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
great. I mean, he used to live here. He used to live
Ah,
here.
really? I don't know where
Yeah,
he is these
Infaz.
days.
I
Yeah.
think he lives in US.
Ah, okay.
Yes. So Dilanji, who is his wife, she actually her debut music video was mine as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So it's called Mayure, one of my other songs. So her sort of we sort of picked her, and then after that, I think Infas saw her in my video or something, and they got
Ooh.
connected and all that, and then
Oh,
then they went all the way, and then they got married.
superb.
And
All right. So I
now,
had repeated questions that were sent to me. One was to ask you to sing the song. The other
yeah,
question was to ask you whether you're single. That will be my
yeah,
last question.
yeah. Unfortunately, not.
Ah, you're not. All right, so he's not single. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. So I've given the
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lots of people. I wanted to put your other photograph. I was very
Yeah.
tempted for it, so I thought I'll put it up on my story. just so I can put it up and say not single anymore. I'll do that.
That's my mate. Hero is my mate. DJ Loud is my mate. They're all watching.
Super.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so very much.
Yugi Boogie.
Who is that? He's
They're
also
all
one of yours?
He's also one of my mates.
Okay. Well,
homies.
I would like to say, Malith, that has been absolutely amazing. I'm so proud of what you have become, who you are.
Thank you.
So honest and spoke from your heart, and that's wonderful. And I really appreciate conversations like that. You're amazing. I think you'll always be loved, and you'll always have a place in this country for you. That's remarkable. And I wish you all the very best. Stay safe, and I'm going to see you back here. And when you come this time around, you need to fire a call to me, and we have to do a show together, like a proper show.
Absolutely, 100%. And thanks, Danu. I think you're a great guy, and we've been in touch within the past year or so, 6 months or so, and then you're a great guy, great individual. Thanks for having me. Keep doing big things, and keep being you, and be amazing, and have a good one.
Thank you so very much. So love to you, Malith, from everyone here in Sri Lanka. Take care.
Thank you, mate. All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. This interview will be available for you to watch later on the Daily Mirror channel. It will be also on our Instagram page. Do take a look at it. Malith, what an absolute wonderful guy. I'm so proud of him. I'm so humbled that he's so down to earth, and it's refreshing to speak to people who are like that. We're going to see you with another great edition to Date with Danu. I'm so grateful that the internet connection was on my side today. I'm going to see you with another episode of Date with Danu. Till then, you keep smiling, and thank you so very much for joining us today. You take care, and it's a wrap.